3, 2, 1, and action.
Sorry.
Ari kukata chitu wekose.
Ndikose uri hauna madhi. Why ndisina madhi?
Okay, wacho sorry. Nonomana runotoma mafungo. Rinotanganedza rovuya and then happy youth month guys. Rinamswa muswa.
Ndikadiwona kavaswa vatu.
Okay. And then rinotanganedza the black culture afu futi so namsi muyeni washu ndi mtu wadzichelede.
Oh.
Yeah. Kana nadzipfunzo also cause ono graduate. Tu fudha vatu vone fedzi afanoni.
Ufudha vatu papio?
It's adana chelede kana nofunze.
Hayi ndofunzeya.
Unachelede mtu. Okay, so rikomtanganedza ka segment yasho ntswa ya single and mingle.
No way. No way.
Enodera mini fan. Onodera mini.
Nenodera mbanga vetse zvabutabo. That vetse apa.
Yo, okay. And then namsi rina Zwannda nana Rasiwela.
Yes.
Mtu wa investor.
Yes.
Graduate engineering. Dera ndichidadho ndimaini kandi civil number mara chishika phone rambanga zwere.
Yes.
Wita mining as confirm. Okay, and then also you are a YouTuber. Financial YouTuber.
Yes. Personal finance YouTuber, yes.
Okay, and then besides all that, other pretend the interview I'm sure like tell us about yourself. Zwannda name.
Sure. Yamushumo, what? No way. No, the thing is, Kai interviews Yamushumo, you do preparations, you give them what they need. It doesn't mean that you don't know yourself, but I don't think that that's the tag which I walk around and ndi Zwannda hola unenda muamba mshumoni. Actually, atimusumbedzi na petu na uti Zwannda mshumoni.
Okay. But then half is Zwannda, uvakomba Zwannda ndi.
Yes, I think that's better. Zwannda ndi ngono wa village ini, ubva ungokhulu chilata. Fetu unemdagasi wada aka grade 7, you know?
Not the
You know what?
But at least you would have a story to tell or that you're barang rupeño.
Yeah, ngoruto ngarendi zone story zone rengisa.
No, come. And as your pass is over rupeño apparently.
Really?
Because we both will pass over rupeño. This is
okay. Yeah, so nending one our village ini. And I'm proud of that because I think a lot of people when nature in a village in Nandara. So I think Orene Upashenda Damakwaniti, I think for real. And that was the experience too.
Okay, that was the experience. What was Azima so okay, I have him to a village in.
Yes, and I was not.
We don't go find him to Africa, no Europe.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
you get my point. Exactly. And I was not. So I think I walk around with that flag and I miss Tangori. We have all the livestock man. Hashubashi farmer. So I'm a proud village girl. I feel like unandarange no upresangandira ine habanandara unenda fawon.
And then Rich Kwambongore Mpo Pinky Rotanganisani naye ndarichadiwa. I was actually trying to think of nene Rotanganisani. So Rich Tangano I think I want a Farisani involved. I read games tonight.
Farisani Munyangani kana Farisani Ramabran. Okay.
Munyangani native diva.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a Farisani Ramabran. It was actually like a competition between him and I am with the other can out of nowhere. Can I change the very guy?
Really?
Ari challenge and ori ndiyena ngambisa vazana vanjafuna masiko farisa nokonya kudakaini ka plan ende wali diwa so that ila ndo kuchulora ndio tumotanga
na that's funny
kunya kupuriwa ne masiko hi but then anyways do you have someone with a deep voice in your life kana uchezingili
it's not a brand I walk around displaying. I'd rather not say. I don't think that's any way in my life.
Maro display wow.
Not really. I don't think I walk around anywhere. Even if you search, I don't think you will ever find anything about me in that regards. I think it's such a secret.
Okay.
Yep.
If you say so, mara nepindura ndediva ti. So Zwannda uyethe hana muthu.
What?
Okay, oipindura ke zvamuri una muthu.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
like amboroita mining engineering. So what led you to studying engineering samsidzana? Because mostly you know that stereotype chori have of mufumakadzi it's either nurse kana accounting.
Yeah, mara to be honest hezvo zvithu zvikopera zvori
Mara zvingopera zvino ti.
Yeah,
And
nne
then-
kama
and
nga
then-
chifhinga chine ndi high school. It was more of obona bolaki bo edzani who were ahead of me from my same high school who were doing engineering as well. So I think Zvichidaka engineering I had more information about it than any other course. Una dzimwe course nje dzine dzava hone dzine ndotodzidiva ndichivosvika vets.
Ere yafana eh. Actual sense no tumedzera pano. Ndase.
Ne ero
Ero
ndorifa pano
ndachidhiva.
ndasaidivi. Hey,
I'm so
I
glad
to
you
school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think because of that, ngoro bona bathu bane bono study engineering bane bava high school yanga ndo bandina knowledge na access nabo, so ndana access to information about engineering, and I think the biasness led me to choosing engineering, and then the
also-
mining part.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I really don't know, because I think ndokono professor mining in the mini ndono tomova ka mining. So ndingasiri it's because I wanted to explore minerals. No.
Because I would assume rakonya kushima maybe ufika chikondeni.
No way obonovara.
I always assume mungana muno daita mining university wa Venda wana plan dzonya kushima chikondeni.
No, chikondeni novara ndikale man.
Okay.
Even at that point I don't think uri.
Okay,
No.
and then are you currently working along those lines that mining engineering kana?
Yes, I am actually. So I think the beauty about mining engineering zvinenda zvifana ndizvori namusarari muthu asayashuma mining. There is a lot of supporting I would say industries zineza nitendera as a mining engineer to still work in the mine without being practicing the mining engineering field. So nanende zvine zvendaita zvone ndori ndika third year ndichikuita vekweke I realized dori no ndingasiluke ndichibuya underground, and I would appreciate the grass, the smell of air, and I was like, no, this is not my thing. So my supervisor at the time kind of gave me other opportunities that are there in the mining engineering field zine zisive ngangomu mining. So ndatomo explore uri ndingatoda mini ndapesera ndoita project nga mechanization of underground mines. That's where I developed the interest in machines and technology. So and ndapesera ndishikoshuma kana ndishona mushumo wotoma in that field as well.
Okay. And then uko plan ulichalini uvantu some engineer to focus akai.
No, that's not the plan. That's not the plan. I love YouTube, ne? But I use it as an educational platform. It's not a job. So, and I think that's why it's fun, and I don't kill myself on how to make it perfect, because I know the purpose of me doing it is to educate.
That's
I
why
don't
also
see it
because
of afford, and if na miss a point in a focus background, nido misa information in enda share, and which for me it's not my fault, and I don't mind if you miss it.
But then also, even if I reach it's not like focus on YouTube page. It will be property.
YouTube ndio nene ndingasifocus kayo face.
Focus on property.
Not really. I'm not at a point where I can make that decision. I feel like bathu vaya undermine complexity ya usava na chelede kana yosava na consistent income. See? So entrepreneurship is nice. I love it. It's something that I will do in the future, but I understand the power of consistent income, especially if it's a lot of money. It's good money, right?
So you're getting good money.
No, I just work okay. I just work okay.
And then they
So-
pay you okay also.
And I just, just a
Okay.
mining engineering salary,
Okay.
right? So then go to dormine. What?
No, that goes to focus on property.
Exactly.
Like,
Ndakutodza sweswo.
Yeah.
Uri ndipfo uri vathu vanji they get too excited about uya ita zvithu zva entrepreneurship, because vathu vanenge vava kuita entrepreneurship most of the time they sell the glamour. right? The nice cars, the fancy life, and una zwithu zwinzhi zwine zwa itea behind the scene zwine vhathu vhane vha vha kha entrepreneurship ava zwiambi zwine nne ndi azwi zwa I need to have my ducks in a row to make sure that everything is up to par for me to quit my job and focus solely on that. But there's a lot of challenges out there in entrepreneurship. I'm not saying it's not possible, it is possible, but to sustain the lifestyle that I have right now, I need my job.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then obviously people know you for the finance advices and all that.
Yes.
So when I lost okay, please note that this is not a financial advice.
To be sued. So a financial, okay, so maybe unenda ngatothoma unendo uri una difference between muthu unokushare financial education na muthu unokuadvise. So difference ndiyo uri musi muthu akuadvisiwa ukobvudziwa upfi kha chimbile aye aita. Right? So huna vhathu vhane they are certified financial advisor whose job is to tell you what to do. Let's say for an example, when you go invest a stock market and you have no interest in knowing what's happening to Sasol or whichever company you want to invest in.
So you just have the money.
Angani vudza uri, okay, I think this would be a good opportunity for you, you know? Ani vudza so, ngori ati certified financial advisor ndingasini vudza uri chimeno invest kha Sasol. Ndido ni vudza uri ukoitea mini kha Sasol in a night decision. So that's the difference. Yeah. So if I happen to be telling people what to do and then they go and do it and it doesn't work, they can, come for me.
But then if it works, do they come to you?
No, they don't. They really don't.
Okay. And then, so some to are financing.
Yes.
If you got the bank account is named to, it's a necessity to have. Which one would you say mutu another?
I think shotoma ka bank account mutu account as soon as possible. And ndishiko zviambira uri mutu ova active. Like need to be active member ya chelede, right?
Withdraw.
No, also withdraw ushumisa card like ubana account nina history ya transactions of the body ine udofuchi fintanga ndinyi zvabonala nga trace ngozvona ngori tizibanga dzina trace ya zvithu zvote zvine ronoita nga card yasho. So ndizvezvo, so open an account, and this is a transactional account, is an easy account as early as possible. I think now they're making it so easy because it charges is fast, right? That's number one.
Easy account, yeah.
Yes. So then mara as muthu akuhula muthu kuti thoma uveya tshelede aside, and I think uri ndizvo zvine when you're a student to be honest you don't think about it, and I understand koseveko chawa. So anina chipinga chotohumbula nga tshelede kana nga vhumatshelo hanu beyond uri ni ḓo na shuma na holeliwa, right? Of which ri vari khou misa point yo uri musi no wana ila tshelede ni ḓo engage hani nayo, right? Which is the problem that we see. Mining engineers go and graduate and the first thing they do is to buy a BMW.
BMW.
Oh, I don't know them by names, but you know what? You can find them. Twitter, go to anything, any social media platform. No, I don't have a car. So I think uri musi ni chikadiva mwana wa xikolo chimwe chithu chine nanga prioritize beyond transactional account ndi udigudisa u save, ninga vula heyo account nga ngomu haeneyo easy account, because now vanitendela uri ni kone create zimwe account uri nive ni khou sokou vheya tshelede ṱukuṱuku. Hezwiḽa zwithu zwi ḓo ni gudisa habit yori na musi ni na tshelede a zwi ambi uri nive ni khou i spenda, nga zwi vhona ni vha ni khou guda iḽa habit yo u vha na tshelede na si i spend, because then later on ni a kona u vheya tshelede for certain things, na kona u thoma u fhaṱa zwiṅwe zwithu zwaṋu ene vhutshiloni. Vhathu vhanzhi vha na misconception ya tshelede uri vhathu vho no kona u ita zwithu zwinzhi nga tshelede ndi vhane vha vhori vha na tshelede nnzhisa. And although that is relatively true, but vhathu vhane vha kona u ita zwithu zwinzhi nga tshelede sometimes ndi vhane vha vhori vho kona u i vheya ya swikelela ezwo zwithu. There are people who say, why yola muthu a tshi kona u dzhenisa vhana vawe tshikolo and she's only a nurse. She was able to save when I were prioritizing other things, right? Ndinya o dzhenisa tshikolo nga nurse. You don't know, big ups to them. This is not necessarily
big ups to me.
No, for real. No, because and he was able to pay for my fees cash. right, and ndavavona vhathu vha khou ḓo dzhiwa nga vhabebi vhavho nga dzi Land Rover mara vha financially excluded, so dzi priority dzi vha dzo switcheya. That means uri havhala vhathu a vha khou humbulela uri ini ni ngo tea u ya tshikoloni, vhone vho focusa kha lifestyle yavho. So ra ḓigudisa zwo zwithu ri kha ḓi vha vhaṱuku, at least ni ri ni tshi wana mushumo na kona u ita zwithu zwine ha vha uri zwi fulfilling and zwi na long term, zwi na long lasting impact kha vhutshilo hanu. So yep.
Okay, and then huna a party ya watu wananga warini. Savings obviously ri divula like anyone else.
Yes.
For rainy days rapanga chelete.
Yes.
And then unfortunately ngacha machelo ni mvula mudina. So you have to use that money.
I know.
So how do you then discipline yourself for na mvula ichikoto na mvula zia pambana obviously.
Yes.
Because obviously gari kwamba so afya are bechedi ka savings. Oya dari ai are groove ni gaga. And actually I have something on my savings. Let's do this. Though do I pay food and then she pay and do be another energy food.
Ngo zwitisa zwone ngo, and most of the time when you have told yourself for ndikonya go vhea tshelede for rainy days, yana
And
yana sirasi and na dona ni khou ishumisa. I think uri what is important ndi uri ni tea u vhea nga percentage, right? So ni songo vhea sa tshelede nnzhisa ine ya ḓo ita uri ni songo kona ya groove, right? Ndi for musi muthu wana income ka allocate na entertainment, a certain percentage to entertainment and a certain percentage to savings, right? For an example, arali ni chiri ndi save up 2000, then for karali ni chidodo vana ijia na uri ni groove, ndi kune ni vhe 1000 for groove, 1000 for savings, so that you don't have to work backward, because that working backward thing is discouraging, and then you're like, it's always raining, so I might as well stop. Mara most of the time is because maybe you are over saving na neglect zimwe aspects za vhutshilo dzine dza vha important dzine nadzo ne ṱoḓa tshelede.
Okay, and then in terms of zwine ita kha YouTube,
yes,
I feel like I said, focus on finance. And I mean, there's a lot of things that you could have been doing, but then you decided to focus on finance.
Yes.
Like, what led to that decision?
That's actually a good question.
I know, I have good questions.
That's really a good question. Oh, so, hey, shine ndikale chiri ndichidiva ntanga, ndikale chiri ndichidiva. Noifuna uifuna noidiva mara ndova ndisazvidiva uri ndiyaifuna usvikela certain age, right? Like I said, obo xikolo. No way. Hey, no more than vets makes me feel old. So I cannot. You know, when I'm at work, and then someone asks me how old I am, I can't even put it on there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So ndakumubudza nga ntuma nga decision yo disa kha YouTube no amba nga social finance ati. So ndaba ndisazidozwo ndiyayifuna tshelede ndiyayifuna ndasazidozwo ndiyayifuna and mara ndoba ndichiipfesesa ngori money is about principles, right? And I think that's why I love it. It's because it will follow a certain path, a certain way, a certain behavior, and I like that because it doesn't lie, right? So nende mtuku ndoba ndichipoa tshelede ya vege tindachipoa 5
ya vege
ya vege ndi mtuku, and I was in grade 1. So ndandichi ila abo Tuesday ane panga Wednesday nranga dzishebete na dzikhove na mini I was bowling, right?
Khove pio
khove ya backfish ya backfish and ya chiringiswa ndindela niyo ya xikoloni zvamburi ndikho hilanda ifedza ndisosvika na xikoloni ndisvika xikoloni ndarenga zvamburi 500 yatani yapera ngabo Tuesday. Then come Wednesday ndachimbira hayani ndarikomra ichalede vari yagayi ngori raroni pachede ya veke, and then ndaya xikoloni ndisina tshelede kana ndasedza zwiḽiwa yani uri ndikone ya xikoloni. So I knew the repercussion dzo la tshelede ya vhumatshelo from a very young age. Zwoitea musi ndi kha rest of primary, rest of high school, nne ndi tshi swika university, my dad gave me an annual pocket money. People were so surprised. Yes.
Yep, gay.
So I was given an annual.
Yeah, funny, okay.
No, it was enough for one university.
Yeah, I spend February.
So when that happened, a lot of people got so surprised. Nemara was not, to be honest, because ndizvitu zvine zvoitea over the time. Apendi high school. Interesting enough, in the high school, and for my dad is stingy. Yo, like shame. I would speak about that over and over. But there is a certain behavior ya tshelede ne vongudisa yone ine ngo to be honest if it didn't happen that way I don't think nda ḓovha ndi na kupfesesele kwa tshelede nga nḓila ine nda vha nako zwino. So ndi high school uti o vhona school bag zwa Mr Price zwi na dzi anime nga fhambraho man, it was such a nice thing. Mara zwa zwi tshi dzula zwi kho ṱukuwa zwa Mr Price zwa tshi dzula zwi kho ṱukuwa, so barenga tsha ṱukuwa vha renga tsha ṱukuwa. Third time vha ri hai ne arani ngo to the school bag catch your school bag vampa a jean school bag like a bokat, and it was not cool, it didn't look nice, it looked like a backpack. I don't know if you know a backpack. Yeah, like a backpack. Exactly. So then end up for okay, because I want to look cool, but to most save a tshelede yanga ye ile ne vha compare weekly that the regular school bag. So there is like certain things that's a zwiḓivha uri ndi kho guda mini at that particular point in time. U swikela ndi tshi swika kha point ine ndi kho mangala uri muthu wa khola tshelede sa to renga you know, and then I realized that it's not so obvious, and I think that's when I started to share. So what started to happen, and I'm sending by university, especially it's no graduate, but renga goloi, what must I do, what should I look out for? Because when I saw, then I was like, okay, I think I can do this. Yes. Okay. And then I started sharing.
Okay. And then achita zwo invest about the platforms if you, because you're also into investing, eh?
Yes. So investor, okay, the investing story. So ndan go the bachelor and then nda bori ndishi graduate and ndina chelede ti
inonzana chelede.
Okay, so wait a minute. So ndori tindomuzori ndichi swika university kosi anga vakubadela ndari ndichi swika ka second year ndawana bazar, mara my dad still gave me the money. So
wabuzoro wana bazar?
Yes, I did. I did. I hope ni go ive yani adiva cause ndangati asithaidzo rabazvidivi thaidzo nduri naitani no ai vha ḓo vha proud if una zwithu zwa serious zwine na khou ita. Ndikombudza ngowe ndikombudza ngo no, like I think uri baby they don't want us to behave a certain way, vha khou to expect a certain outcome kha rine asuri vha khou ṱoḓa uri ndanga tshimbilani so vha khou ṱoḓa uri ivani muthu wa so cause bona ene a to swika yana swika ri hela tshelede ndando ye vha khou pay pocket money ndando wana bazari ndo renga mini yavo tshithu cha serasi. I'm telling you, they will be so proud, they will know like una muthu nga ngomu antanga
mara zwino vho zwiḓivha. So yeah,
anyway, yes. So what happened in this so then dina bazari and then I'm still getting my annual pocket money, so ndangoisave bangani at that particular point in time ndakoshumisa fixed deposit account. So fixed deposit account ndi account ine na rani chivheya tshelede na ivheya lwa tshifhinga ni sa idzhii na lindela tshifhinga tshetsho tshifhela na I wana ina interest rate, right? So meaning that nikho I wana inch, so nda ndi tshikho ivheya bangani ndikho dzi fix and then nda ndikho idzhia ndikho mangala uri with this money that I gave you, all you can give me back is 6%. Like, I could not believe it, man. I could not believe it. So then I think that's what then started fueling my quest to exploring or what more can I do outside of the 6% that the bank is giving.
Yeah, to
right?
get more return.
Exactly. So then ndatomanga Allen Gray. No, it is not Allen Gray alone that I started looking into. Ndo check abo coronation mini and a person koja Allen Gray, right? That Allen Gray account tieno got this number wanted me to put 2,000 rand per month, right? So then compare 2,000 rand per month ya nepala ya investment ka Allen Gray ka account you know fi balanced fund. So I'm still putting it, so if you want to do the numbers you can do it since 2017 until now. So I'm still putting 2,000 rand. Yeah. So ndio nenda tomangai, but even then I think ndandonobana interest yori what more can I do naso for diversification, meaning that you can't put your investment in one place. That's when I went to shares, and then later find out that there is government retail bonds where you invest in the government. Doesn't sound right, but yes.
So ndiwe noko badela mitagazi na zipoto.
I don't know what projects they use it on, but they use it on projects and then they pay you back. Yes. So una government retail bondo.
So you trust our government to check their
yeah, I trust the Reserve Bank. I think they do better than the government itself. I think they do a better job, you know.
Okay.
So and the EasyEquity 9 and aishumiso renga shares ngayo. Yeah, so yeah.
And then is that the investment in a cause okay ari amenga EasyEquity rari yafamba gaina forex cause nikopanga chirede graph ya gonya yatha dori ngwe kugidima ingwe kugidima slow.
Yes, I think I would like to start by saying that I have no clue on how forex works. Zero clue.
Oh, sorry.
Zero clue, right?
Yeah.
I have no clue and no time and interest. I know that it requires time, right? If I had time, I would put in my time. And I believe that mutu uto yo investor kazitu zine azivesesa. So you need to invest in knowledge first and then put your money, because for any type of investment with greater returns, there's potential loss equivalent to the potential gain that you can get, right? So I wouldn't be able to give a good comparison between shares and forex, but I know how shares work.
Okay, so aji choose uko where actually the company if you kana kaza JSC.
Yes.
Like how do you choose which stock is gonna give me a good return?
I think you need to book my one-on-one. I have one-on-one session is 1,000 rand.
Okay.
Yes.
No, to
be honest, like there's really a lot you want to check, because there has to be something that kind of prompt your interest in a particular share. There is a lot of listed shares. So really, for you to narrow them down to a particular maybe industry first, for me, I'm biased. I am a biased investor because my biggest portfolio is in resource industry, and that's because I have knowledge and understanding of the mines and how they work and the industry as a whole and what influence its growth. So ndotoma one, and my biggest portfolio, my portfolio is still mines. So I think utoma una prompt by interest or be interested into something, maybe a retail industry or tech, right? And then you then go and explore the different technological companies and then look into their revenue, look into their past revenue, of course. And you got to invest like a company where revenue has been increasing. You want to invest in a company that is making profits, you know. And that's just the basics. Ultimately, you want to also understand the fundamentals of the company, like in the next coming future, because in as much as, yes, in the past, the revenue has been growing and they've been making profit, you also want to know that in the future, they still plan to sustain that growth, you know? So, yeah. Okay.
And then car EasyEquities, so now like which are the stocks that we should be on the lookout for? It's not a financial advice, guys. So
oh my goodness. I don't know.
Dividends.
Oh gosh, guys, I don't know. I don't even give stock picks, I think I lean more towards ETFs. Unlike individual stocks, because individual stocks fluctuate a lot. I had a biggest position on Tungela. It's a known thing because my portfolio is public. I actually share my portfolio on my YouTube. So if you want to see what I hold, you can see it on YouTube. It's there. So I had a biggest position on Tungela, and I actually exited my position in the past maybe 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, right? I had fun. I enjoyed my benefits. So, I'm an investment. I actually talk more on long-term investment, meaning that you at least, you need to have a longer view of what's happening. But when I was looking into like the coal price itself, and then the decline kept on declining, I was like, oh, maybe this is not the place where I want to put my money, at least not now. So what I did was I exited my position, and I really didn't want to make a big deal out of it, because I didn't want people to make that decision based on my choice. Because for me, it was not necessarily because I don't think there is not a value in Tungela. It was because also I'm like, okay, now I can do more of small caps instead of this big caps like Tungela Namine, right? So last week, I think Tungela was on like plus 8%, from the time that I withdrew. So people who stayed in the market are feeling the recovery. I know MTN has recovered like plus 20% for the last month. So maybe there's hope there. I don't know if There's
Is there hope for if we RMH? Is there hope there?
What is RMH? I have no idea what RMH is.
The of camera. I
I have no idea. So I don't give individual stock pick, but cuts the ETF. I'm always, if you look into my social media, I'm always giving at least my personal stock picks on ETFs, because I feel like they're a little bit lenient when it comes to the declines, right? Currently, my biggest win is the S&P 500, the Infotech, right? Maybe plus 40% in the last month or 2 months. So that's really good. And one of my favorite stock picks would be the top 40. Right. So if you are starting to invest in shares, because all these things about Tungelana Mini, our MTNA, like there's a lot of information that you need to go and find before you can actually get the satisfaction to say I want to buy the stock. But as a beginner, you need to look into ETFs, and this is because ETFs are a basket of shares, right? So if you're interested in telecommunication, you can find an ETF that focuses on telecommunication, meaning that you have all companies, or maybe if it's top 10 companies that are within the telecommunication industry. So that minimizes, at least for you to choose between MTN and Telkom and Vodacom, you just bet on the industry itself. So you can find Resi 10, which focuses on the best resource industries companies, right? So instead of you deciding, do you want Sibanye, do you want Tungela, do you want Exaro, you have a basket of shares that focuses on resource industry. So I was still saying that another one of my favorite is the top 40, which invest in the top 40 companies by market capital. So the top 40 companies, and then if you buy this ETF, you have an exposure to all of them, right? So it minimizes your work, but at the same time give you the foot into the stock market door.
Okay, and then the most withdrawal you've had, EasyEquities.
Most withdrawal I've had. Recently, I think I withdraw a lot. the Tungela one.
How much was it?
A lot. It was a lot.
Why post YouTube?
Yes, it's there. Go and watch. It's there. No, to be honest, my portfolio is public. I post everything that I do on my EasyEquities account. I think I have... I always have watch list. So these are the companies I'm watching currently.
Exaro in Thai.
Yes, and I have a position in Exaro, but I'm trying to figure out if I should buy more. So this is my portfolio currently. What?
I don't know what to put.
No way. So yeah, that's my no, to be honest, it's not even 10% of the money I have.
Serious?
No way.
What?
And then you can go and check on my YouTube, guys. Watch my YouTube channel.
If it's not 10%,
no, this is not money. There is money out there, guys. No, for real. There is money out there, guys. There is money for the making. There is opportunities. Tell him how much it is. No. He has to go and watch it on my YouTube because it's there. Okay, guys, I won't tell you also, but it's there. That's nothing, to be honest. Like, no, this is investment. No. The thing is, you need to start small, but consistently putting effort into
There's no you started small.
I did. Let me tell you, actually, my whole journey is there on YouTube.
Here's the thing, out of those guy. If I would have 200,000 EasyEquities, I'll feel it in the blind.
Okay.
So, guys, just statement, guys,
yeah. You can't even buy a car. Come on. 200,000 doesn't buy a car. 200,000 does buy a car. Does it? Oh, ndimsinkoya second hand maybe.
No, Swift, brand new.
Oh, yes. That's 200k. Yes, true.
It's 190.
Maranato moko spec ati. Serious.
Okay, back to you guys.
Yes.
yo vatona chelede afanza
no natina tshelede nṋe ndi khou tou ḓisamela ari ndi muvhudze ṱanga nṋe what I think ti zwi tshi ḓa kha tshelede and especially khaṅwe kha vhathu vho no nga nṋe vhane vho graduate kha heyi institution vha ya vha wana
tshipiri ndi u graduate kha
ai
institution
mani ndi khou tou fha tsumbo
are omelele vha
no I believe in vets though but ndi khou tou amba uri
Yeah, thank
you know
you.
vhathu vho no nga nṋe khaṅwe no graduate hanefha na swika na ḓi wanela kushumo kwanu vha ḓi nifha yeyo ine vha khou nifha yo nṋe ndi pfha uri ngoho zwa ndeme ti ndi u focusa kho u accumulator at least a certain type of reserve before ni tshi nga committer kha expenses nṋe zwo ndzhia 3 years nṱanga uri ndi renge goloi ti nne by the time no I have so by the time when I had to buy a car I had to decide whether I wanted to buy it cash or not right so I'm not saying wait until you can decide to buy it cash or not. I didn't buy it cash, by the way, but I had the choice. I could do it if I wanted to. So what I'm trying to say in Durmini, and I ended up investing in property because of it, right? Keep a certain type of reserve, no matter how much you get paid. Ndina mini chine ndakonya kuchita riya man ndikanpa ku 10,000 apa kartome this thing so a lot of times we're missing out on opportunities because we never really try to do it ourselves anyway.
Okay, yeah, ndakonya kusa in terms of like actually save kana achi investor like how do you decide when Thomas spend and then balance I save or you have like already sort of like a 50 30 20 rule in a sort okay and save up guy and the love guy so
so ndichitomo shuma I used to save 60% of my income, right? 60, yes, I said it. I know sometime on Twitter they grilled me for it, that's why I left Twitter. They were
come
saying
back and show them
it's unrealistic. No way. I'm done with Twitter. So they said it was unrealistic. And I'm not saying each and every person should save the 60%, but that's me. And that's what I would say the privilege of my parents afforded me. And that's the privilege that I want to create for my kids. And if when you are spending, you are letting your kids to not have that privilege and they will grill other kids on Twitter. Right? So, yes. So that's what I used to spend. I used to spend 40% of my income and save 60%. So I think when it comes to this, what is important is to identify what your necessary expenses are. Because to be honest, if nisa kubadira rent, nisa kubadira bond, there are guys, so it doesn't make sense for you to just save a huge sum nisa there. Yeah. So determine what are your necessity, and necessity I mean necessity, right? Wudzuro goroi, yes, it's a necessity, but at some point it's a luxury if you don't have the money for it, right? So determine uri ndi ready na no vana goloi kana ndi ḓo shumisa transport ngori of course we need to be mobile, right? So kha rina khou choose transport ni vhe amount yeyo ni ḓe zwiḽiwa. Determine then the necessity, ni tshi fhedza dzi necessity edzila ni vhona uri no sala na vhugai, which is the disposable income ne. Kaila tshelede determine percentage ine ya yela disposable income ine na khou nyaga u I save ni vhe thungo, and then ni ḓi vhudza uri ndi khou ṱoḓa u ḓipha pocket money ya vhugai, because also you don't want to just be working and you're not buying even a KFC ice cream, guys, like it's not nice. I'm sure I'm going ice cream when I quit it. No, I still live way beyond my means, to be honest. I do, because I feel like there is time for any season. You can plant and then later harvest. Yeah, true that. And then the pyramid scheme na do like investment. Yeah, ne. Ai ba khoita tshelede baba. Ono vya joina kani? Ndo no joina. Hezwo ngo ndi khou muvhudza. No, ngavhe ndi khou I owner kha ṅwenda ndo mudela na mobile studio ri khou tou zwi rwela kha serious black couch. But wana tshelede wa kola. No, atinayo ndanga serious ne tshelede tina. Also it answers that question yori fano da to funzea kana vari na tshelede, so now we know o da imela zwote. Yeah, pyramid scheme. So ndo no ijoina mara ndo ijoina ndikatwa mtokotoko. Yeah, Evono. No. Evono is pyramid scheme, uti? No, Evono is not a pyramid scheme. Evono is a pyramid scheme, yes, but it's not a scam. This pyramid scheme with an E. Oh, not right. Pyramid scam. Yes. Oh, because so not pyramid scam. Yeah, una the scam and the shumisa pyramid scheme. This sign doesn't look right, but yes. Yes. I'm trying to do
Okay,
a
yeah, so it's
pyramid.
like
I
this,
know
yeah,
it's
then.
like I'm young. Anyway, yes. So yeah, nimani ko recruiter. Oh, you're not a recruiter. And I anta. Exactly. So
ngopfumisa wanganta
ningopfumisa wanganta. Ndandikudaka zviscam ngori ndipfori ndizvone zwithu zvine zvavesa zvande mapala vatu vakuita chelete ntanga. They're making money. Don't be fooled. They're making money, but the owners, only 1% of the whole system makes real money. The rest, they don't. So what they do, and it's not new people. It's the same people. They revamp it, call it whatever. Exactly.
Always.
So what they do is that they identify maybe prominent figures and then they tell you about a business opportunity, and then you buy in as a prominent person. Guess what? You come with your audience, and you know because they are subscribing under you, you're going to make a lot of money. So they're most likely going to agree and promote that thing, right? And what is said is that you make money off of each other. I think when they start, they will say, oh, we invest. QZ, do you know it? QZ management, man. QZ management. It was a Chinese. Oh, shame. People were on it, right? So that one, it just recently left. So what happens is you're making each other rich. Baba ko riba ko investor ka Nasdaq, which is
Nasdaq
Nasdaq 100. It's not necessarily Nasdaq as your forex.
Forex.
No, Nasdaq as your forex. Let me debunk that a little bit, ne? Nasdaq. No, ara ko investor ka Nasdaq and jone mara uba ko shumisa forex platform. No, as a scheme. As a scam. As a scam, forex as a scam. You just need to understand it. So Nasdaq Nasdaq stock exchange, which is there in New York, right? The stock exchange. So but whenever shimsa forex banga investor ka Nasdaq in the stock exchange. Nasdaq and JSE. Exactly.
Oh.
So it's a stock exchange. So yes. So bari ba ko investor ka Nasdaq abala batwa QZ management. Marandanga, what actually happens is ene ukujia your 100 rand apa see had the umpo ajenanga 200 apa ene 100 ile 100 yatake kan ola mono ko daka ngajenanga 400 apa 100 apa ni 200 still nendika 100 still. No matter who joins, I get a portion, a certain percentage. Nesamutomi was where it's just scam.
Also, the main aim in the Tom.
Hey, not you Tom, see? Need to exploit. The thing is, you're not investing on anything.
No, I don't have to invest in
Exactly. So ni mani quite a the off of it. It's like a stock fell. Mara only urich tamro lawangen tapets. So
the idea would motodone like mbura was fun.
Let me tell you one thing that people assume is not true. It's not true. They know what's happening. They even know what Nasdaq is. They even know what Forex is. They know. They just choose to do money this way, in this particular way. So they are smart. And they know what to tell us to get enticed to join. So again, those prominent figures they go with, ne? Baba jaba sa Dubai, baba pats go. Bas doesn't funa mini be. Baba pats goroi.
And I just Dubai over doesn't it?
Ne. Oh man, no.
That's okay.
But then yes, but the issue in Diori, most of the time they sell lifestyle. They don't sell long-term wealth. They long-term building wealth strategies. They sell now. I can get you to Dubai. I can get you to Bali. Why do you want to go to Bali when you haven't got a place to stay? Guys, like Mara, when people see those prominent figures in Dubai because of the pyramid schemes, you get so excited.
Yeah.
But why are you excited if that's not even your way of living? It's not the way in which you want to empower yourself. Let me say for an example, trip to New York. Wouldn't you rather have the money and then end at the era apatsine digaye morisha exactly makuba school serious I don't know. I don't know, but yes, that's what I'm saying. Or why would you want to make me win?
if I'm patched there ndinga Mauritius, so Mauritius ndivito apasi kaina.
No, asipasi nditsini, meaning that cheaper.
Oh, okay. Nari travel it. Rogumene panto in Joburg. So
Okay.
and then you are into property, Amanda.
Yes,
property
I am.
So
I am.
the moment about the word property, I always assume it is buildings and all that. Like, is that the case? Can property is sort of broad?
It is broad. It is broad, but yes, the main thing ka property ndi zvipato ti. One or namusi when you're investing in shares, on property shares, the company still invest in zvipato, right?
Yeah.
It can vary. It can be like a commercial building, office, malls, and whatnot. But mainly that's it. There is mobile property, but yes.
Yeah, so
ultimately that's what it is.
For what one investor has property, how do you then decide what kind of a property you invest into in order to good return? That's a good one. So I think another thing that's trending the property investment, and then people go and then they just do, and then without doing proper research, and then when that happens, I think sadly you suffer and you are already in, and it's a big commitment, and I don't like that, right? So what is important in Duri, at least they do your numbers. I think numbers don't lie. Again, like I said, money principles, they don't change, they won't lie to you. So it's better to do your numbers, right? Let me give you an example. Like these like sectional titles, which is like an apartment, like a 2-bedroom apartment. There you pay rates, you pay levies, you pay rates and taxes, you pay, other additional stuff, municipality fees. Okay. Yeah.
So besides the bond that you would be paying on the property, there's still this addition, and they're expensive. I think most of the time when someone is looking into investing in property, what they look into is like installment versus what money that I can potentially get back. What will I get from Tanga for rent and the installment that I will be paying? But they forget all these additional costs that are associated with owning a property that will still need to depend on this rental income that you're getting from Tanga that you need to consider, right? And I think, of course, the better part about property is that in as much as, yes, you're not making money through rental, let's say, for an example, the money that Ntanga is giving for rental, it's only covering for my bond or my installment. It doesn't cover for rates and taxes, and I have to top it up myself. The beauty about it is that over a long time, property appreciates in value, and you will finish paying it off, and then it will be yours.
Does property
Right?
always appreciate? Can at some
Not
point
always,
it does depreciate?
Not always. I
Because what
think
Washim said, that narrative also, it always appreciates.
Exactly. I think what's important in to check mini around the area in which you want to invest in. To be honest, you cannot invest in an area which you're seeing that people are moving out already, and that means you need to be vigilant and listening to the news, and having town planning friends helps.
Yeah.
Yes, to know what's gonna happen, how the town is evolving, and also if people are moving out, also go to the area, ask people how much they pay for rent and what they've been paying. Sometimes you can see by the reduce in the rent value. Around 3,000 last year, and then now 1.5. There must be something that's happening, and of course not particularly because of the building itself or the house in which you stay in, but if you're seeing over the area, you can see, or maybe it could depreciate, and people are losing interest in that area. So most of the time property will appreciate, but be vigilant in the areas in which you invest in, so that you invest in areas that are going to appreciate.
Okay, so what are some of the risks associated na property that you would say they're always up there, like Nasa Jiranta, you can go wrong with property?
I think what I've heard lately in the Uri, the township is in between big cities and very, very rural townships.
Yeah.
Because when things are tough, people from the big cities move to the not so bad town, like Cosmo, right? Yes, so people then move from the neighboring, I think it's Senton. And and there is lovely places in Cosmo City. So because it's not very, very heavily congested, but yet it's still a township, there's always people who are upgrading from heavy township to the better Cosmo City town. and people who are downgrading from fancy life to
Cosmos City.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then whenever they always wonder whether they should go out and rent kana or badela on the bondo. So for like 20,000, they
Yeah.
are contemplating between doing that and building a house themselves. Which one would you say is a better option?
There's no better
Mara,
option.
financial advice. Hey.
There's no better option, Tanga. There's no better option. I think each and every person needs to understand their own circumstances. Okay, let me also say that if you have a choice to buy a house, buy it. Right? Renting is not nice. But if your circumstances say rent, you should rent and not feel burdened about it, because it's not everyone who can afford property, and it's not everyone who's in a position to buy a property. Maybe there's still something that you're doing that you cannot do that and still be able to service the bond. It's okay to wait, right? But if you have a choice, guys, if you have a choice, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to own a property, because the earlier you buy a property, the cheaper you buy it. And then of course the earlier you buy it, the more property you can potentially own later, right? And you're most likely to pay it earlier. So I think panga pressure, especially to people who are starting to work, to say, why are you renting? You should be you are paying the same amount as mutu wa bondo. Exactly. So mara arari mutu, like for an example, you're working in an area which you know you're going to move, right? So you might not want to buy a house now until you know that this is a place where I know I can settle, and then you buy a house that you want. This is for residential, where you want to stay, right? Because it doesn't help. You buy a property here, tomorrow you're buying a property there. There's transfer cost all the time when you buy property, you know, so you want to avoid that. So I think no pressure, but if you need to really understand your affordability. I think there's a video that I make on my YouTube talking about that, on how to assess your own affordability when it comes to deciding whether you should be buying at this particular point in time or not. If you have a chance, buy.
Okay. And then if I decide to go with the bond issue, is it possible for me to like reduce the interest rate? Because I've been looking at 2 million. Obviously, like younger 20 years bond, I'm obviously gonna pay something around 3.something million.
Yes,
which is like
more,
almost
possibly double. Yes,
exactly. So unandira ine ndia konoita or is like interest dzipungudze ndisari ndikobhadhira chedini yaponana nyana.
Yes. So I think what I encourage people to do is to always negotiate. And there's 3 places which I feel like a person can negotiate a property, right? One, when you're looking into the property itself. When you're looking into a property itself, you need to look for a person who's called a motivated seller. And I know this is bad because you're looking for someone who's desperate. You want to take advantage of desperate sellers. You see now that the interest rates are hiking. There are people who are panicking and are selling. Panic sellers are always willing to let go of their property. So make sure you get the best deal. Even if I'm not saying rip them off, I'm saying negotiate and get the best deal out of it, right? That's the first thing. Make sure that you negotiate on the value of the house. If someone says it's 700,000 and you're like, I only have 650, a motivated seller is most likely going to to want that. They are always ready to let it go, right? That's number 1. Number 2, once you get that property, once you've identified that, okay, I found my motivated seller, now I'm ready to work, you need to work on your credit score prior to you deciding on buying a house, because then you will need to negotiate your interest rate, right? So when you go to the bank and they're like, Ntanga, you can afford, right now I think the prime lending rate is 11.75, you can afford 11.75, you're like, oh no, you know, I have a Wits degree. That means I'm reliable.
I don't have it, just it. Maria, by the time I got down, I have it.
Exactly. So then you can use multiple things that shows how credible you are to negotiate for a lower interest rate. That's number 1. Also, you apply in multiple banks. You apply to the top big 5. And you also apply to the non-traditional financing companies, right? Like your SA Home Loan.
I
don't know, hey?
Mukuru.
So then you apply in multiple banks and get the best rate, right?
Yeah.
And of course, if you use Standard Bank, most of the time you want to stay with Standard Bank. So if you find that, okay, maybe FNB is the one that's giving you better rates, take the better rate and go to Standard Bank and tell them to meet it so that you don't get to
sort of
change.
like a quotation.
Exactly. And then you challenge your bank to, it's called a pre-approval. So you do the pre-approval with multiple banks, you get the best rate, challenge all the banks using the better one and settle with the one that is suitable. That's number 2. Number 3, once you have bought the house, there is lawyer cost. Guys, you will never know how much they can give you unless if you ask, right? I remember one time when I was signing my offer to purchase
To purchase
and
what?
a house. And then I called the lawyer and I asked, like, okay, so how much is this? And she's like, oh yes, I sent you a quotation. And I'm like, oh, can you give me 30% discount? She's like, oh, 30? Okay, I can only settle for 20, but I got it. I
Yeah.
got it, right? So I ended up getting it, and it's a lot of money which you can use for other things that are associated with owning a property. So lawyer fees, make sure you ask. There is a recommended cost that lawyers can charge, right? Maximum recommended cost, but they will always charge you the maximum.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they can keep it there.
So they can always go
They can
below.
always go below.
If Rasiwela fees na mizwa ne Venda kana tsokopanga chele the beginning. Azikana rayo pendu.
I think una zwithu zvinopfi
Ando ya Msanda.
uh,
Naruva.
offer to occupy. No man, shango la Venda mostly nga maanḓa kha ṅwe ndi to zwiambela zwo no tonga haningei hune nṋe ra bva hone wano ri ḽi a owniwa nga Musanda. That's why ri tshi ya ra humbela luṅwalo lwo vha na stand. Zwino thaidzo hezwiḽa zwithu thi ndi wa uri tshiṅwe tshifhinga hu vha hu si ownership, hu vha hu
Sort of
what's the
rent
word?
amavu.
Yes, it's like a access to occupy land, but it's still owned by
Msanda.
Musanda. Exactly. Rune Musanda arali hada nyinyi na project yawe.
Vangari
Ari
kokuru.
ndiko nyanga ita mo. Va ḓo ni bvisa, va rengisa. You see, so yeah, but to the the area dzifhio dzine ya vhori dzinayo ndadzo zwo ri zwino tonga bo unit khaṅwe they are more advanced
Yeah,
when it comes
obvious.
to ownership
Most
ya marati to the ḓivha uri zwi tshaka dzi village na kutsanga vha rende lavo ndi mavu avo mara atina vhuṱanzi arina vhuṱanzi ḓuvha ḽine maḓo kuwa maini
Dolanda swili. Kamsanda.
atina vhuṱanzi.
Yeah. And then ndo vona uri you just said uri you started a thing, a student accommodation.
Oh,
a 15
yes.
bed, 15 bed what? Is it
You had to
15 bed or
mention the
15 bedroom?
It's just, yes. I'm not
comfortable.
comfortable to say yes.
Why? But then you will be getting customers.
No,
from,
I don't want customers.
Oh, you have customers already.
Yes, I do.
The guy mar. No, they were like, oh, it's a student accommodation.
Yes, it's at Val.
Oh, that's nice. What comes to Univen?
No.
Univen
Val.
have been renting the 2,000 for 2 months.
For
No,
2
that's
months,
what I heard.
Langa. Seriously, no way.
No,
I
serious.
refuse.
Okay, 8,000 you're gonna budget on what?
8,000 eh?
Maybe my source was wrong. Mara, guys, it's not my own words. This source young almost zero budget 8,000 for a semester.
Yeah.
Hey, like 8,000.
Ningasibena seriously. Yeah.
And then, how much did you spend on that project?
A lot. I spend a lot. Let me tell you something about student accommodation. Not necessarily student accommodation, but also multi-lets. Multi-lets meaning you want to build a lot of rooms in one property. Is that it will cost you. Renovations are expensive in Gauteng. Oof. This is a lot. Because for me, I bought a house and then I converted it into 15 bedrooms. So you can imagine the amount of work. Yes. Yeah. The amount of work that I had to do. So it was really costly.
Yeah, but then to you, cost you have you have everything in it.
No, it was costly. But I think also it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. I don't regret it.
Okay, but then how much did you spend? Was it over 1 million?
No, it was not over 1 million.
Okay.
And I used my own money, by the way. because it's hard to convince the bank to give you a loan to renovate.
Oh, yeah.
So they can fund you for a bigger house because they can see the structure. But for renovation, they don't know the quality of your builder. They don't know, they struggle to justify the risk associated with you doing that by yourself. So
the aim is to get a plan yandukurane na zvipa vanipa chelede and then again renovate.
no, you get a house. You get a bigger stand. Don't focus on the house itself. The house, most of the time, is not even in the position in which you want to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Get a bigger stand. Understand your plan, of course, to say this is what I want to do, so that when you look for the house, you know that this house or this stand will accommodate the plan that I have in mind. And then you get the funding for the house that is in the land, in the stand. And it doesn't, if you want a bigger house, that's good, but you will still need to renovate. If you want a smaller house so that you can build over it, is still okay. But you will still need money in both situations.
Yeah. Okay, so with all that said, I feel like you are still a young woman, like you said.
Yes.
And then beautiful as you are, so you still have to maintain a certain lifestyle, like you did say already.
Okay, yes.
So how do you then manage between those two? When I left and then Havanant.
Yeah, now
save.
maintain. Yes. So I think a lot of people would say I'm stingy. But knowing the perception that I had of my dad when I was growing up, then I know I'm doing the right thing. So yes, so I have no interest in. I don't think it's because I don't know, I just don't have interest in certain things. Like I don't drink. That means the money for alcohol or the money that a lot of people would spend on alcohol for me. And I just don't have interest.
In what?
Right, in drinking. Yes, in drinking or clubbing or.
But then there's always that thing, to Ambori.
It's true though. It's true. I think if you're not disciplined, you will find things. And for me, maybe things which I spend money on would be like clothes. Yeah, like, and it's not that I buy expensive clothes because I don't wear brands, but I'll buy a lot.
Yeah.
So I did stop, and I think it's important to know what it is about you that makes you wanna buy. Sometimes it's being around friends, wanting to look a certain way, and then you're tenga until it says decline. Over 700 cotton on.
Hey, over 700 cotton on.
700 cotton on.
Yeah, 1.2 zimbiri.
I am not even a fan of Nike. Sorry, Nike.
Okay. And then speaking of lifestyle,
yes.
Like you've been traveling all these countries and the cities. Like you've been, just to mention a few, Dubai, the Tokyo, but it's over 10 countries if I can count. Germany.
Yes.
What were you doing there? Was it like work related?
Yes,
or?
It was work. Yeah, I traveled through work. I traveled through work.
Okay, Dubai na to Ramaini. I didn't Dubai no one.
Work. It's work, but not mine's. Okay, so I work in a company that manufactures machines, mining equipment, right? So yeah, and then we go to where our clients are. And so it's a multinational company, so I go where our clients are. Exactly, it just happens to be my birthday while I'm working.
So when tuna card you need lenga birthday it's fine. Okay, and then biggest failure in business.
Biggest failure in business. I think I love what I do, that it's not so apparent or in dono failure because I keep on moving, right? I would say I've started so many businesses that didn't work. A lot that didn't work, and I don't feel and it worked. It worked at the time that I needed it. Student panofets, right? And then right when I started working also, I love restaurants. I think there's no restaurants I've never been to.
Ukuzvibona.
So yes, exactly. So I would get my money though, not from my income. I would sell Avon enough to take me out to explore. So I figured I would not be able to go out with my own money, and then I had to find extra source of income so that I can sustain this lifestyle. That was fancy. Yes.
And then you still want to say something?
Okay, personally though, I think my biggest failure financially, which is this one is known. So one time there's a friend of mine who told me that they are bringing fuel from Mozambique, right? It's a very good business. It makes money, and it makes money like this, right? So yeah, and I'm seeing him doing it, and I'm like, this is cool, but I don't understand it. So please, just give me the information so that I know that this is the thing that I can do. And yeah, of course, he was giving but not giving, not enough for me to do something about it, right? I trusted that he will at some point. So because of that, I think I became blind and obsessed with wanting to know that at some point when he wanted to borrow money, I gave him. So I think he borrowed 10K and I gave him. I think I was buying a relationship at this point. And then he came back at some point. He's like, yeah, tarakali kobu, yeah, loshika eli, chedes atu jena, mini, what, 12K, damupa. 10K obuisa. And I remembered the 12K I was with my mom. My mom even asked me, Uri, what manner of a person are you sending 12K to? Exactly.
So reliable.
Exactly. And then the potential business part now right? And he's been doing it for a while. And I went to high school with him. I mean, if you want to know his name, you can check my YouTube by name drop there. So, no, he's not. He's not. He just didn't bring back the man.
Okay, the scheme.
No, the money didn't come back, Tanga. It was painful because one, I didn't get the information which I was kissing S for, and then two, my money was lost.
We lose some, we gain some.
Yeah, we win some, we gain some, but it's a lesson learned, right?
Yeah.
That if someone wants to give you information, they will. You don't have to overextend yourself to ask for it, because there's a lot of things that I got to do in business as well that I never really had to do what I did for him to get access to information for those things.
Yeah. And then any successful venture that you never expected?
I never expected.
Yeah, Thomas, you
no way, not me. I'm such a serial planner.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a serial planner, so
that's why
I know
what's coming.
They just have information I need.
Okay. No, I know, that's what I meant also.
Okay. Yes.
And then in closing, which are the 2 books that you would recommend for my audience here?
Okay, so I would recommend a book called Make Your Money Work For You by Anthea Gardner. It's a book I got from EasyEquities as a gift, and I think it has changed my life. It has allowed me to see money not only as a one thing, right? It allowed me to see money as multiple things through multiple investments, like a lot of it, and the easier ones and the more complicated ones. And I think what is very important with that book is that it allows you to see how that can impact your life, right? And that's number 1. And number 2, it's What's Your Move by Nicolette Mashile. I think I speak about this one a lot because, I like her. So yeah, the thing that you get with Nicolette Mashile's book is understanding of money as a relatable thing, like on a day-to-day. What does it mean when we're sitting here? What does monetization mean? How can you start investing in shares? All the simplest things, the thoughts that comes into your mind when you're about to buy a car, imposter syndrome, lifestyle inflation as well. She speaks about a lot and lots of things, and she uses Venda then there, which is nice because it's more relatable. So yeah.
And then if ndajena ka Google zvine search Zwannda nanas
Oh
net
my
worth ndivana kugai.
goodness. Net worth, you might not get it. Net
Okay.
worth, you might not get it. But
So dotarobuza, what's your net worth?
no, I don't know my net worth. I
It's
don't know
prob-
my net worth.
it's
That's
probably
not
over
my
a-
focus point.
It's probably over $1 million.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't
I
think
just
about
want you to
my
say
net
yes
worth.
or no.
No, I don't know my net worth because that's not my focus. I have too much debt, you know. And when you have debt, of course, that means not much of net worth because net worth is
Mpho zimbeza 500,000 yawe.
Mpo.
Mm.
Yeah, good for her. Good for her then. Good for her. I don't have. I have my business run on credit. So I'm still yet to accumulate lots and lots of credit. So I'm not focusing on net worth. I'm focusing on expanding my business, and I expand my business through financing. Financing means I'm getting skoloto soon.
Okay, if you say so. And then one last thing, how can the people find you online? Obviously,
Yes, guys, please go to yo Jesus. Is that how you say it? It's at Zwannda_Nana on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter. Although I'm not very active on Twitter. And it's Zwannda Nana on YouTube. Please, guys, go and subscribe to my YouTube channel.
that's it.
And that's it.
So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to a very good one, eh? So I'm saying, after this, I have to be serious about my life. Penny team of food for that amount.
Am I allowed to ask you one question?
What do you want to ask now?
What is a lot of money to you?
What she just showed me.
Ah.
So now, but no people know what she showed me.
Come
So
on. No, it's fine. It's a lazy answer.
I don't know if it's okay. Please subscribe to my channel as well. Also,
Yes, please subscribe.
Yeah. So, how about the and the kind of way? How about the very bad?